Hello, I'm Malice, and today I am being interviewed by the Schaden Collective. To go a little deeper into who I am before I start, I am Process Urukban, translates to hate and sorrow in fictional language Dovazul. On some nerdy shit, I know. I named myself that because that's essentially what Malice is about, and what most of my other projects, whether it be future, current, or past, are also about in general. Malice is the project. Croesus Gaudakban is the guy behind, essentially. Yes, 1,000%. But it's not the only one. Initially, there was Garage Door Decapitation, a two-piece satirical slam death metal band type thing. I was vocalist, lyrics, cover art, frontman-ish. Not that it was big enough to really warrant frontman, but if there was a frontman, it would be me. And then my good buddy, who I still work with to this day, did pretty much everything else, all the instruments. I honestly couldn't have gotten to where I am without Garage Door Decapitation. It was that project that kind of proved to me that I had the ability to create art that people care about. I guess that's one way to put it. So from there, I got the inspiration and the experience, and I used that to make Malice. But you guys already know about Malice, so I'll skip ahead onto Weeping Wraith. It was formed, I want to say December-ish, with a few close friends of mine. But they didn't really know each other. It wasn't a friend group. It was more like a bunch of individual friends that I pulled together. And that was a mistake. It was not a fun working experience. I got the guy from Garage Door Decapitation, myself, good friend of mine, and another good friend of mine. That's 4, not 5. Thought it was 5 people, my bad. And we made this DSBM band called Weeping Wraith. But the work ethic was not something to be proud of. We released one single, wasn't even that good, and we dropped it. You could still find it on Spotify and Apple Music if you wanted to, but trust me, it's really not worth the effort of finding. Definitely the body. Most notably their album with OAA, Enemy of Love. I've been told that the influence is like audible. Like I chased that particular sound. Huge influence on both my sound and my lyrical themes. But aside from them, it wouldn't be far-fetched to say that that Full of Hell, Slow Hole, Null, definitely, are all pretty big influences, as well as just black metal in general. I mean, it's blackened industrial noise, so kind of goes without saying, but I feel like I should just throw it up there anyway. Those have all been pretty big influences on my sound, lyrical themes, even the appearance. Very black metal, especially the vocals that I've been working on behind the scenes. None of my officially released material, aside from like 2 Instagram reels, have these vocals in them. But some of my friends, especially existential narcissism, would know that the vocals that I'm working on behind the scenes are very black metal. Very black metal. So, definitely a key inspiration. I didn't want a face tied to Malice. I didn't want a face tied to my art at all. I wanted to be recognized for my art and my art alone. I always hated when people listened to artists like Typo Negative because they found Peter Steele attractive, or Slipknot because they found Joey attractive, etc., etc. I hated the idea that some artists get recognition based off of their looks instead of their hard work. And I'm not calling myself attractive. I'm not saying that I would have that fate. This is more so just a silent protest against that whole idea in general. The idea of beauty and everything related to it. I feel that I should get recognition based off of my hard work and not anything else. I only want to be recognized for things that are within my control, not my hair, not my face. So the only way I could realistically accomplish that is by removing those features entirely and becoming faceless. I'm sure a lot of people can agree with that. I just wanted a general sense of just negativity, and I felt that malice was probably one of the best words for that. I didn't want to use hate because it was just far too common of a word, and it almost was too specific. But malice has the potential to have all of these emotions. You could be malicious for any reason. You could have malice for any reason. I just wanted a general sense of negativity. I wanted something short and concise, and something that when you hear, you think of me. And I didn't know at the time that there were so many other malices, like Malice Miser. It's the only other one I can think of right now. But I wanted something short, concise, that made you think of me, and just having a general sense of a negative connotation. No. Okay, no. I'm gonna sound like a sheep. I'm gonna sound like the majority. No. Okay? No. But not just pineapple. Bear with me. I'm not saying that specifically pineapple is bad for pizza, although I am personally opposed by it. What I really mean is just keep it simple. You shouldn't abuse your pizza with so many toppings that just have no correlation to its origin. It should just be pizza. A good pizza should just be cheese, the crust, the sauce, pepperoni, and maybe a bit of ground beef. But a good pizza is very simple. I rest my case. Definitely suffer for the audience. 1000%. It is a 2-track long EP. You could even call it a single, really. It's only like 7 minutes. Featuring a song called Suffer for the Audience. And another one that's really just, no vocals, almost drone, ambient, I Stage stained red, seats now vacant. It's essentially a commentary on the bystander effect and how, someone could be going through the worst time of their lives, and instead of helping, people would just kind of watch and mock them. And then once it's all over and the person, suffered whatever consequence of the situation was, death, whatever could happen, they're no longer interested. They just leave and carry on, go to the next stage, go to the next show. People should listen to it first because it's short. It has a pretty strong message that is, again, shown shortly rather than longer forms such as an album. And it's also just kind of a favorite from everyone that I've spoken to about my music. It's very well received, and personally it is one of my favorites, and I'm definitely most proud of it. So I do believe that newcomers should definitely listen to Suffer for the Audience. Both the track and the EP, they're both very good, and I feel I did a good job. Last, but certainly not least, we have question number 9. What's next for Malice? Well, I have an album in the workings. I want to say it's about 30-40% done, around that range. And a few of my friends will be featuring on these tracks. And if you want to reveal yourselves in the comments, you may. I don't mind. I think it'd be cool, but I'm not gonna reveal anything without your permission. But I am gonna tell the people that some of my friends will be on the tracks. It is a medieval concept album. I don't want to go too into depth. Don't want to spoil the whole story. But it begins with the knight taking his own life. That's the start. And that's all I'm going to say. For now. There was also work in progress, a more personal, very raw, kind of Yugowa. I don't even know. That's how you pronounce it. Very Yugowa-esque album. Very personal, very raw, just about my struggles with depression, etc. But, working on 2 solo albums at once, huge pain, and honestly, it's very similar to the medieval one in terms of theme. So I think I'm either gonna scrap it or just do it later. And there's most likely going to be a single from the medieval album posted within a week or 2. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That is what's next for Malice. Thank you for watching. Support the underground and stay tuned to the Schaden Collective. Peace.